What up, Bears fans? YouTube back again. Another just like brief 2 or 3 week hiatus. Who even really knows? But
off season.
I take absolutely that's true too. But I take absolutely no responsibility for it. But anyway, this week we're going to be talking about NFL draft, some of our predictions, the mock. We want to talk about the NCAA championship, some highlights around the league.
Yep.
But first, let's reintroduce long-time listener, second-time caller, Jeff Dahlberg to the podcast, who's going to be helping us out, producing a little bit.
So Jeff reached out to me and was like, hey, you guys got a lot of great stuff going on, killing it. I want to come on and bring it to the next level. So Jeff, welcome.
Yeah, big fan of the show. I'm a big AM radio fan, so I was like, I felt like I can add some good structure to the show off my experience of, you know me guys, I call into AM radio stations.
What's your favorite erectile dysfunction AM radio ad?
Oh, definitely the Blue Chew, man.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Blue Chew.
Dude, it's everywhere now.
It's the number one.
Like all over my Instagram. I'm not sure if people are.
It's on your Instagram though?
Not my yeah, I get like hymns and stuff.
Do you have
Hymns is big on Insta. Yeah, Hymns is big on Insta.
Do you have you heard the new one where it's like a blockage problem?
Oh yeah,
that's like a whole
some sort of like ultrasound, like breaking up like breaking up the clots in your penis arteries.
Yes, I'm like that's been the whole problem the whole time.
I'll tell you what, if you ever want to pivot your medical career, Rahi's cousin is like he's the guy that installs like the penis pumps when like because apparently like the Blue Chew doesn't work for life, guys. If you're on the Blue Chew, you eventually build up a tolerance to it.
Okay.
And you have to get a pump put into your dick.
I have.
And he says business is booming.
I have encountered patients with it in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know the logistics of how that works, but hopefully.
I don't want.
Hopefully, I never have to.
Yeah, knock on wood a little bit there, guys.
I'm still in good shape. I'm in my early 30s, so
prove it.
Yeah.
I can tell you that maybe in about 8 months I may be able to prove it.
Drop trowel right now.
Yeah. Get erect.
Yeah. And then to completion.
I thought we were jumping right into Bears talk. Not talking about ED stuff.
We're riling up the dog.
Yeah, we're riling up.
Well, okay, so I was going to say, just really quickly, so 2 days ago, today is April 9th.
Yeah.
Today's the 9th, yes.
2 days ago was was it yesterday?
Yesterday
was the eclipse? Okay.
Yesterday
was the lunar, and you actually drove.
I went to Indy, drove down. I drove with my friend Nico and Alex, and we drove into Tesla, which was pretty cool. I've never been in Tesla for that long. Auto drive the whole way down.
Wait, so like truly, like not touching the wheel? You like?
Yeah,
I've always been confused about that.
Yeah, he's got the thing that you don't have to touch it. Like you have to do some manual overrides. Traffic was awful there. Worse coming home. Like probably in the car for 10 hours in total. The eclipse was only 3 minutes long, but as far as
well, the eclipse is like an hour and a half long.
Well, the actual full lunar eclipse when it's completely black, it was really creepy. Mm-hmm. So like the dogs around us, there were some dogs there in a field. They started going crazy. It got significantly colder, which was like no joke. Like the temperature dropped for sure. And then like when it actually went over, it was kind of like a subreal experience. And like I would just kept thinking that if it weren't like 2024 and we didn't have maths and didn't know that it was actually going to happen, I couldn't imagine being in your typical day and just like the moon blocking the sun for 3 minutes a day. Imagine what that would do like in like medieval times.
You mean just like if people weren't expecting it, just happened?
It just happened. We didn't know about it, and it just happened.
It's a great time to accuse someone of being a witch.
Not only being a witch, but like you probably start a whole religion on that. Like, dude,
we missed our opportunity.
We've
talked. Kevin and I lived together in college, and we talked about starting religions multiple times.
Yes, the Church of Apple was going to be.
Church of Apple.
Yeah, that was.
Everyone worships.
So you think it was worth driving all the way down to Indy for it? Because I honestly,
here's why. So I was on the fence about it. 20 years is the next one in North America that you'll be able to see. Mm-hmm. I would never drive or go to a different continent just for a solar eclipse.
Okay.
So like the fact that it was relatively close, kind of like a can't miss opportunity for me. I worked in the car on the way there, worked in the car on the way back, took a few calls, did what I have to do. It was cool. It was well worth it. Now, am I a science teacher? No. Did I nerd out? No. I just thought it was a cool experience.
Okay. That being said, I saw when it got to the 1% mark, and I went into work, and I never went back outside.
Oh. How were the vibes around the
Unreal.
viewing? Unreal. Everyone pretty chill out? Like, was it like kind of like a Dave Matthews Band concert type vibe, or was it more like a bunch of science bitches?
No, let's put it this way: the people that were going to see the eclipse, because we like stopped at a Starbucks and we had to get the.
Of course, you had to get your Starbucks.
Get the glasses too. It was actually an ordeal, but like the people that were going were like. I don't want to say, how do I say this? They definitely didn't have jobs.
Okay.
Let's just say that. They were like either retired people or they were just like I was not dressed for the occasion, let's just say that. Mm-hmm. I should have been a much more off-brand.
All right, so one of the things we want to talk about is, obviously slow off-season still kicking in, but we're only 15 and change away from the draft, which is...
15 days.
I feel like when we started that countdown, looking at it like 60 days and not knowing what was going on with Justin Fields, those were dark days.
Offer's still out there, 100 subscribers. We are still going to the draft, aren't we, John?
We're only 40 away in the next 15 days.
So we need 3 a day. So that is our plug to like and subscribe.
Okay.
Yeah. We're up to 61.
All right. Yeah. So does anyone at this table honestly believe that the first overall pick is going anywhere other than Caleb Williams?
No,
absolutely not.
Okay,
no,
there's no.
And the Bears aren't trading it.
The Bears are not trading it. Mm-hmm. The 9th pick is, I feel like, what a lot of people are talking about, and I think there's kind of 3 schools of thought. I've been seeing edge rusher, wide receiver, or I guess 4 schools of thought, trading up or trading down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what do you get? So Jeffrey, we'll start with you as a guest. What do you want the Bears to do? What do you think they'll do?
Well, they brought in Marvin Harrison Jr. this week for a workout, which is interesting because there's no way I think he drops to 9. So that would be the clear option of trading up.
And he's going to go 4.
Do you think he's going to go 4? Wow.
I think he's going to go Caleb. It's going to go Daniels, and it's going to go Drake.
So I think it will be Drake May before Daniels, personally.
Who's got the 2 slot again? It's New England, isn't it?
Washington.
Oh, Washington. New England's got the 3.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's going to be 4 quarterbacks going right away. So my hope is that somehow Rome Odunze falls to 9 because a lot of people are saying that he's just really like his comparison is who's the guy in Tampa? Godwin, like Chris Godwin, where it's like he can kind of just go on to a team rookie year and be good and like do kind of he can play wide out, he can play in the slot.
Godwin's more of a slot guy.
He can play wide out too. They just have Mike Evans there. I think that was. I mean, maybe not the best comparison. But
Marvin Harrison Jr. is a legitimate bona fide. Like when he was on the college stage and I watched him at OSU, he was hands down the best player on the field at any given point. They threw him the ball, and he would go up, and he would go and grab that motherfucker.
The thing about Marvin Harrison Jr. is, like, I'm kind of a non-starter, and what it's going to take to have to trade up 4, maybe 5 spots to get him.
We don't have a second-round pick to trade to.
Yeah, we'd have to give up major draft capital for next year. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's interesting that he came all the way to Hallis Hall. Obviously, the Bears are considering it. Mm-hmm. I've seen, like, did you guys see, like, the meme out there, like, there are 2 people that, whoever broke this news, in the Bears organization who said, don't be surprised if they trade up for 4. I personally...
The same mock drafts are reflected too.
I'll never be surprised by the Bears ever again since they traded up to get Mitch Trubisky. Yeah. That's like...
that's an old regime. That doesn't count anymore. But what I will say, though, is that the Ryan Poles has been extraordinarily aggressive on both acquiring and trading. He's not afraid to make a trade.
But he's not giving up draft cap, like major draft capital.
Chase Claypool.
Yeah, but that was a second round for like the following year. It's not that it wasn't that big of a loss.
By the way, I just saw Chase Claypool is probably going to sign with the Canadian Football League.
Oh, hell yeah. Good for him, man.
He's actually Canadian.
Get him up there, eh?
Fun fact. Hopefully he goes up there, and guess what? He may be able to be the best receiver in the league in the Canadian Football League.
You know who's also Canadian?
Celine
Dion.
I was going to say Zach Edey is. Did you hear about his NIL beef real quick?
No.
So Zach Edey got super pissed about NIL. So apparently, if you are not American, you cannot capitalize on the NIL.
Good.
Really?
That's what he gets for being Canadian.
Yeah, so since he's Canadian, he was unable to sign any NIL deals.
Who put that into play?
Obviously an American.
That is
funny enough, but yeah. Anyways, so back to Poles. I do think Poles, like, not to Jeff's kind of topic, I would not be surprised if the Bears traded up and got him, and I wouldn't be mad if they went and they got him.
I'd a little bit of a gut check because I think we're going to be like, oh, that was a lot to move up to this guy, and I think, everything that's coming out of that camp is like, if we find the right guy, we're going to go for him. So Jeff, you think Rome Odunze is what they're going to do? Or what you?
I like Rome Odunze. It's tough because you have to think, like, we're drafting Caleb Williams, like, we're gonna have to like pay both these guys at the same time. So that's got to be coming across polls. You have to, as a GM, you got to be thinking that long.
But that is years down the line, and you're paying.
It's 5 years. It's 5 years.
You got to pay Keenan Allen very soon.
So
no, I don't think you pay Keenan Allen. But Keenan Allen's here to show that's
for
like
1 year. No, I think they got to sign him.
Yeah, they're gonna sign him.
If he wants to give him a hometown discount, but I think they're.
Is he from Chicago?
No, but if they're good this
help
year,
the team,
help the team.
Maybe he's in search for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, what playoff success has Keenan Allen had? He's been in.
Yeah,
LA, like the Chargers have been pretty ass for a while.
So Kevin, are you advocating and then thinking the Bears are going to trade up and try and grab Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I don't think they may do it, but what I'm saying is that like I wouldn't be mad if they did.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know I'm on the page of like not what to win now, but you get two premier players like that. That's probably the two best offensive players in the draft, respectively at their positions.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? That's shit you do in Madden. Yeah. That's shit when you like override trades to make it happen. I'm just saying, you get the top quarterback in the draft, and you get a top receiver, and arguably Marvin Harrison Jr. is arguably the best overall player in the draft.
Arguably, yeah.
If you can get the best quarterback, generational talent, and the best player in the draft in the same fucking board, I don't care what it costs. I'm not going to be
Now,
mad.
Kevin, do you think Tyson Bagent wants him to come to town?
I like Bagent, right? So he was on ESPN 1000 today, and he had a great interview, whatever. Something I really enjoyed about Tyson Bagent a lot that he mentioned was that he got asked, what do you... Oh, you're going to get the card, Johnny? Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Love this boy.
It's gonna be worth millions one day.
Yeah, all right.
So he gets asked how good do you think this team is gonna be? And his response is, anytime asked me what the Bears are gonna do this year, he always says they're gonna go to the Super Bowl. And I fucking love that response.
Bagent says that?
Yeah, Bagent says that.
My guy.
But it sounds like he's being tongue in cheek.
No, it's not. He was like dead serious because like he's all about like. He also talked about how like the biggest thing from this year was how he belongs in the league and how he's working in the off season and stuff like that.
But they signed a better backup quarterback than him.
I think he belongs in the league though. I mean, he went 2-2. Like we love the Bagent. We had so much. We actually went to the game.
I mean, he belongs in the league now that you can roster 3 quarterbacks.
Remember we went to the game, the Raiders game?
Yeah, I remember.
Super fun.
Yeah,
you were there. I was with your brother
and
too.
You brought baguettes.
So anyway, to go back to the you think the Bears should trade up for Marvin Harrison Jr. Is that what you want?
I wouldn't be mad.
So let's say it comes down the line on draft day.
Okay, order of what I would like to happen. One would probably be to trade for draft picks for next year.
So you want them to trade down?
You want the haul?
I want the haul.
The haul.
I want that would be. Hang on. That would be like That would be the least. That would be the most conservative.
Well, one or the other.
Pick.
Which one do you want?
Well, hang on. That's number one. That would be number one. Would be like, okay, that's great.
It's eating your broccoli. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine, right? 2 would be trading up for Harrison Jr. 3 would be trading with the Jets would be a potential great partner and go and get a legitimate edge rusher, someone who's already established.
Why do you get traded the Jets? They're the pick behind us.
I heard they want to move up and they have all defensive pieces.
Okay.
The Jets' defense is
I don't think the
good.
Jets are trading anyone off their defensive line.
But they're not going to go for an edge rusher, so we might as well let the Jets skip us.
Exactly, right? And then you can
maybe get a 3rd or 4th round pick.
But if you can get a legitimate edge rusher, because I like the Sweat deal a lot. I thought this Sweat is an established great edge rusher, right? Sometimes when you draft these guys out of college, what kind of motor are they really going to have in the NFL?
So currently, just to say,
and the last thing would be just picking, say all 3 receivers are gone and they just take an offensive lineman. That'd be the last thing I want to do.
No, you can't go offensive. They just signed 7 guys.
I'm just saying though, I don't want them to do that.
Yeah.
Here's my perspective on it. I think that I do not want the Bears to trade up. If we're sitting there on draft day and the news comes down the line that the Bears traded away a 1st and a 3rd 2025 draft pick to move up 5 spots, I'm going there like...
a 1st and a what?
A 1st and a 3rd for next year or something like that to move up 5 spots. Which is, I think, is something that would cost.
So a 1st, they're trading 9... Next year's 1st and next year's 4th. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, but I think that's probably what it would be to get Marvin Harrison Jr. To be perfectly honest with you. But anyway, so I think if they trade, it could be.
Could be worth it.
If it works out, then fine.
2 best players in the draft. Fuck it, that's my number one. Let's do it.
I'm
all in.
I personally I personally want to see them draft an edge rusher. So right now the mock's got the Falcons picking this Dallas Turner as the top the edge rusher. Maybe not the top. Mm-hmm. Is he the top? Let's see. They got an offensive tackle here, offensive tackle, wide receiver. Yeah, so he'd be the top.
Where do they have Junior going? Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Marvin Harrison Jr. They have him going 4. No, wait. Oh, this is messed up. Oh, you know what? So I have seen this. Some mock drafts have the Patriots being like, "No, we don't need a quarterback."
Yeah, who's going to throw him? Who's going to throw to him again? He's going to throw the ball.
What do you mean? They got Zappy, guys.
We're going to be really bad another year, and they're going to draft from the top 5 again, and then they'll get a quarterback.
There's not a lot of good I feel like you got to take a quarterback this year. There's not a lot of good quarterbacks coming out next year.
Who they got going to? Drake May? Or Daniels?
They got it was Daniels.
Yeah,
Daniels.
That's what I said. You said Drake May.
All right, you can pull up like 50 different ones that'll have it different. Other than everyone's gonna have Caleb Williams.
So I think what will probably happen is they'll probably take a Dunze.
I would love that.
And I think that's fine. I'd be really happy with that. I personally kind of want an edge rusher more. I want to see the defense continue to grow, and we've already got. We're going to talk about this. A really strong receiver core right now. And if we decide to pick someone up late in one of the later rounds, just to kind of serve as a 3 or a 4, that's fine. But I think what I'd feel best about is I kind of want them to trade back. Jeff, you talked about we added a bunch of linemen, but we added really depth. I don't think we added like a solid guy. I want the best center in this draft, and currently he's going at about 20. It's the guy out of Oregon. What's his name again? Like Jackson.
But that's just like you don't.
Jackson Powers Johnson.
You don't really take centers in the first round, though.
Jason Kelsey is what, a 6th-round pick and the best of all time.
You have to think like the best center that we've ever had was like Olin Kreutz, right?
Yeah,
probably.
We talked about him.
He was for sure like he wasn't first round.
I don't know when Olin Kreutz was, and neither do you. Maybe he was
at the top second round.
I want more stability. You want to talk about helping Caleb Williams. I don't think he needs a 3rd phenomenal wide receiver. I think he needs to be able to like a solid core of linemen.
This is the 3rd-round pick.
I think it's just the Bears showing that they don't love Justin Fields because they're building around Caleb Williams.
I think so. I think this whole thing is just a vendetta against Justin Fields.
Pretty much,
Just to take a handful of crap and just rub his face in it, and then
it's an inside job.
Yeah, it's an inside job.
I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah.
What? This is a joke.
I know it's a bit. But I get it. But at the same time, though, like I don't want that narrative even on here because like. I do respect Justin, and I think that's another thing we're going to talk about as well is Justin Fields.
We gave him pieces, like the DJ Moore thing. He had enough to work with. I was watching a compilation of some like the worst Bears plays, like really gut-wrenching plays from this season, and not all of them were Justin Fields, but most of them were Justin Fields, and I was just like, it is not going to take much for Caleb Williams to not only have a better season than Justin Fields ever had, but to be the best rookie quarterback in Bears history. Like
because the bar is so low.
The bar is so low, and Justin Fields is the bar was set so low by Justin Fields. Again, I like him. He had flashes. He had potential, and I hope he does well in the Steelers.
He's hurt a lot.
But he was not hurt a lot.
And he played like shit against Green Bay the final game of the season. That's just like you'll go out losing to Green Bay, our bitter rivals.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I kind of want the Bears to trade back. I want to have a guy that we're going to be able to plug in at center, and then maybe some extra draft capital for later on.
So you want your broccoli?
I kind of want the broccoli. Yeah, I kind of want the offensive.
That's what I said as my number 1, and you shat on it.
I didn't shat.
You called it. You want your broccoli.
I said it's sensible. I like broccoli.
I do too.
Not steamed. It's got to be like fried
with bacon in it.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah. What some little bit of paprika.
Yeah, I'm all in.
Check out our second channel where we talk about how to cook broccoli.
Just back to the wide receiver conversation.
It's up to 30,000 subscribers.
Back to wide receivers though, so I get it. We have a good top 2.
Yeah.
What other wide receivers do we have on our? Mooney's gone.
Mooney's gone. Mooney got paid too. We talked about that.
We have the guy that had that we drafted last year, Scott, right?
Yeah.
And he had drop problems last year, so hopefully he can go that. So we got Bayless Jones Jr. is going to be off the team. I think
Dante Pettis.
Who's again like someone they just signed back? He's just a guy.
And then we got
a warm body at 3 at this point.
But it's one of those things. It's like
St. Brown's brother. Yeah. We have 2.
Yeah.
And then we also have Cole Kmet and Everett, so they could be running a lot of 21 personnel out there. So 2 tight end sets.
I don't think they'll. I mean, you still need a third. I mean, you need someone who can be out there who can catch something.
Tyler Scott.
I mean, it's better than what we had. I think, yeah, like.
And what was the last time Keenan Allen played every game of the season too?
It's been a minute.
That's why I'm like, and he's another year older. DJ Moore, I have all the faith. That guy's durable.
Like I said, if we decide to go with the Dunes, I'm gonna be like, okay, that makes perfect sense. I think if
he's not going to drop though. That's the problem.
Most drafts have him going, and if we have to go with an edge rusher instead to put on the other side of Montez Sweat, I think that defense is gonna make a big jump when we can do that and put some pressure on. But ultimately, like I said, like everyone you've added on the offensive line, we added a lot of guys. It feels like mostly they're just kind of like depth guys. A couple of backups,
Yeah.
So we'll see.
The one guy from Buffalo is legit though.
Yeah.
Can play like every interior position.
That's true, but
that's the guy we wanted last year.
But he rode the bench last year. I mean, granted, I think they went out and got a high quality like center in the draft, and he sat behind him, and I think he did fine when he was in. So yeah, I mean, yeah, he could be the answer. I don't know. I think Poles knows better than I do for sure.
I don't think so. I think John. I think you should be running this team based on.
Maybe I should start returning his calls.
I know.
Just getting all these panicked voicemails from Ryan Poles, just being like, John, I need your input on this. And I'm like, Ryan, you need to believe in yourself, man.
We're on the clock again, John.
If I keep answering these calls, you're never gonna learn.
John, you sure you want me to draft another Iowa cornerback?
Yeah, last
that guy's gonna be good.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Who will be the
only white cornerback.
What's his name? He had a really devastating kick return called back that would have won the game for Iowa last year.
That was horrible.
On a really weird
the
bad fair catch or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so next thing we want to talk about.
Before we move on, I was curious about Keenan Allen. So Keenan Allen has been hurt as of late in 2022 and 2021. He was very hurt in this multiple.
That's why you guys pay me to be on your podcast.
I'm sorry,
these type of facts here.
23 and 22, he was hurt a lot. 21, he only missed one game.
Again,
2020, he missed 2 games.
He's never played like a full season.
2019, full season. 2018, full season. Yeah. 2017.
Stop looking.
Guess what? Full season.
Nah.
2016. Do I have to tell
Those are in the past, man. Just let it go.
He was actually an injured reserve in all of 2016.
Will you answer Ryan Poles' call about if Keenan Allen's going to play all year or not? Or did you text him back on that one, John?
Yeah, I'll let him know.
You'll let him know. He's going to miss 2 games.
Keenan Allen has over 10,000 receiving yards. He's going to be just fine. I'm not worried.
I agree.
So that's what I'm saying in terms of do we need to add a third wide receiver? Because basically all the Bears did was replace Darnell Mooney with Keenan Allen.
Which is a great upgrade.
He's got great beard too.
He does.
I want to grow a beard because of that.
And this has been pretty hyped. We're not going to dwell on this too much, but I'm seeing lots of stuff the people are saying the Bears have the best wide receiver duo, which I wouldn't have thought. I mean, then they kind of go through a list. I'm like, yeah, the conversation could be made.
I would disagree with it.
I'm going to say the best. Top 5.
Yeah. Do you think this is a better duo than when the Bears had Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey?
Absolutely not. No. Those guys were studs. I loved that duo with Jay Cutler smoking cigarettes back there, just slinging it.
Yeah, that's my gut reaction. I mean, they have the opportunity to prove it. I think DJ Moore is probably better than Brandon Marshall, but I think Keenan Allen is better than Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah. I think both are better than both of their players, respectively.
You think both of these two are better than both Brandon Marshall? Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. Brandon Marshall was
good.
He was fucking crazy, so you know he was extra good.
He was actually crazy.
And
he hated Jay Cutler.
I thought they were I don't know.
No, man.
Everyone hated Jay eventually.
They talk about it all the time. Brandon Marshall was on the Hot Ones podcast, or just their YouTube channel with Cam Newton, and the Hot Ones guy asked who is the worst quarterback you ever played with, and he said just straight up Jay Cutler. I mean, he kind of said it just he never reached his potential.
Dude, he played for the Jets too, man.
Yeah. It was absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
All right, so in 2012 was his best season. He went for 1,500 yards and 11 touchdowns. It's really good. Those are great numbers.
And that's this is pre Antonio Brown going for 2,000 yards too. This is a different era.
That's a great season, but I think DJ Moore could do that too.
Yeah. We'll see. And
when
he's got a quarterback who can throw across the middle, we'll see what he can really do.
I really do.
Yeah.
All right.
He doesn't hold on to it for 8 seconds.
And then speaking of quarterbacks who can and cannot throw across the middle, Justin Fields' new look. Just really.
How do you feel about it, guys?
I didn't think it was him. I saw a picture of that and I was like, is he advertising sunglasses? Okay, I liked it.
No, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow Swaggy45 on Instagram.
Plug.
Plug.
I actually saw a really funny comment. One of the top comments was, "Hey Justin, those aren't solar eclipse approved classes."
They're also kind of awful. I don't like
Got
them.
it.
I don't like them at all.
I thought it was a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like the comment sections on the internet are always undefeated.
Yeah, someone's always really funny and smart. I mean, I think it doesn't really look like him. I don't know what's going on.
I like it better than the cornrows, to be honest.
Yeah,
or whatever he had.
I think he still has them. I think this is probably just a one-off look.
Yeah, but the other thing I'm going to mention that I even said to it too is I hope when he went to Pittsburgh, his PR person was going to tell him to smile a little bit more. Like, so your first photo, you're not even smiling. Dude, just give us a smile, Justin.
Kevin, you should just start telling that to random women on the street. In my opinion.
He smiles on the Dunkins. He smiles on the Dunkin' building.
Are those down now?
I think so.
On 90?
I haven't seen any. Yeah, those ones are definitely down.
Because on 90, he was all over 90.
Yeah,
it was like Hurlacker and Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. All right, so kind of transitioning away from the NFL, just really quickly. Jeff, you have some numbers you want to share with us. So the NCAA Women's Championship and Men's Championship was over the weekend.
Yeah.
First and probably majority, I want to talk about the women's.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I do too.
Not a women's sports fan.
Nope.
This season is starting to sell me on it.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm biased. I love Caitlin Clark. I got the Iowa flag flying in front of my house right now.
They lost.
Heartbreaking. They lost.
You've had that up for a while, though.
I just recently put it back up for the Final Four.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not up year round?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
kinda disappointing.
here's where I'm at with the Caitlin Clark thing. So I watched the Elite Eight game and just unbelievable against LSU. It felt like it was good versus evil. I thought it was awesome. No, it was. What's her name? Not Angel Hernandez.
Angel Reese.
Yeah,
Angel
I know.
Reese.
I'm thinking. I've got baseball.
You're thinking Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez.
Angel Hernandez called the game.
Angel Hernandez he's the awful umpire.
Well, I feel. Oh yeah. Well,
He missed the perfect game for Detroit.
Did you see God, this is totally off topic. Did you see the tight end for? I think it's not Kincaid or whatever for Buffalo.
Yeah.
I forgot. He said he's going to be the next Aaron Hernandez.
I did hear that. It was a while ago.
It was a while ago. I just saw that recently.
He's a keeper on my fantasy team too.
Really?
Time
Oh, you gotta cut that guy. He's gonna be in jail.
He's a first round tight end, so he's gonna be good.
He's gonna put up some numbers and then go to prison.
But hang on, let's talk about Caitlin Clark, because I'm gonna tell you right now is that I would never watch a women's basketball game, and she got me to watch it, and it was electric.
It was fun.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It felt like Steph Curry.
Yeah.
When I'm watching her play, anytime she pulled up, I'm like, it's going in.
Yeah.
And it went in more often than it didn't.
That being said, it didn't in the Final Four. Even the game they won.
Okay, so South Carolina was clearly a better overall team.
Yeah.
They were undefeated for a reason.
But even UConn, the game they won.
It was a tight one.
Yeah, it was tight. And she didn't shoot all that well.
UConn kind of blew it late too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Caitlin Clark didn't lead him in scoring.
So here's another thing that and I'm not trying to be rude. This is more of a knock at the NBA. So the NBA and men's product, especially the NBA's product, it is not a good product.
There's just really nobody in the NBA who I'm I want to watch.
Well, not only that, but it's so much hero ball. It's so much one-on-ones.
That's true.
It's so much oh, I'm gonna literally take the inbound pass and I'm just gonna walk the ball up the court, not even dribble anymore. It's showboaty. It's just it's just not fun.
Yeah.
But then I watched the WNBA, the NCAA tournament. I'm like, yo, they're fundamentals. We used to make fun of that, but it's awesome to see.
But you see that in men's. It's more systems.
Not as much.
Yeah, you see more systems.
The NBA playoffs, they get a little bit. They start playing defense.
But still, though,
it's a little bit more.
The women's game, I feel it's watching a much better version of a rec game, because they're doing windmill dunks. They're doing what I would do in a rec game.
Yeah,
which is missing layups.
No, that's not true. Which, speaking of which, my rec league game, I did want to bring this up. So check this out.
God.
Right.
So we play Sunday nights. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're switching to Thursday nights.
Mm.
Okay. No, hang on. Bear with me here. Bear with it. So we just played Sunday night. We played to 100 every night, and now we're playing on Thursday night. This Thursday.
You just play one game to 100 every night.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's a lot.
That's an interesting way of going.
We played. So you break at 25, and we played some 2 days. Anyways, I'm a little sore. I'm a little tight. I had a great game on Sunday. I got a quick turnaround. I got to play on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Now I know what these NFL players are talking about when they got... No, seriously, though.
Oh, my God.
On Sunday night to Thursday night. No,
You poor guy.
Yeah.
Kevin's gonna rupture his Achilles on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, I get it, though. Like, it's a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
But for a physical game, like, they complain about it. Like,
do you have lighter practices this week? Is it just mainly walkthroughs? Or, you keep it easy,
just shells.
Spending a little extra time with the trainer.
Yeah.
He's been wearing KT tape to bed.
Uh-huh.
Thought you guys would like that one.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
That's pretty good. So I want to talk about the viewership numbers. So, in my opinion, I love, like, college basketball, I think, is so much better because the refs actually call traveling calls in college basketball.
Like I said,
which makes it a little bit more watchable.
And they let them play. Like, it's actually a little physical, and it's great. I love it.
It was physical, and I did feel bad for ED, though, because it seemed like he was 100% of their offense.
Yeah.
And, like, it was for the first, like, 10, like, maybe 8 minutes, it was like, oh, wow, he's going to keep them in it. And I was like, it's unsustainable. He was just getting way too gassed, and UConn's just too good.
The problem was UConn was making adjustments offensively, and Purdue's like, our game plan still just feed it to Edie the whole time, and it's just like, do you have anything else?
UConn was just like, all right, get it into Edie. We'll let him
score.
We'll let him score. We're not gonna foul him. We'll let him get his attempts. We're gonna just run our offense, and they play a kind of a slower game. So I don't know.
I mean, UConn was clearly the better team.
They were, yeah.
So what about the viewership numbers?
Okay, so the women's NCAA championship had 14.2 million viewers average with a peak of 17 million. Mm-hmm. The men's were less.
Yeah.
We're less. They're hedged out by a little bit. Now, I have some other games I want to give you guys, and I want to hear from both of you whether it had more or less viewers. Then we're going to go the 14 million average.
Sure.
Because that's what I was pulling for these, were the averages. Sure. So, first off, I want to do a Bears game. So, Monday Night Football, Week 12, Bears versus Vikings.
Bears versus Vikings in Week 12?
Week 12.
Definitely under. I think definitely under.
Less?
Yeah.
Over.
Oh, really?
17.7 million average.
Really?
Yes.
Week 12 of 2023?
This is all right. So yeah, any games I mentioned were from 2023.
Wow,
so,
that's great to know.
Yeah.
So even
that was
even still like
time out. That was when Kirk Cousins was already hurt.
Yeah.
Was Justin Fields even playing yet? Was Justin Jefferson even in that game on Week 12?
No. Justin Jefferson for sure not.
It just kind of
for sure not.
It just kind of shows you the NFL is like still king.
Yeah, that's literally.
Right.
Yeah.
But hear me out though.
Okay.
The Tour de France.
Is this worldwide? Wait, worldwide?
It's world. Oh, this will be worldwide.
I don't even know if I didn't even know they televised the Tour de France.
Oh yeah.
I just thought it was something you read about in the paper the next day.
On ESPN 88.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So less.
No, I'm call over.
Kevin's right. It's actually 3.5 billion.
3.5?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's way more.
A third of the world is watching the.
What do you mean a third of the world?
Yeah.
3.5 billion?
Yeah.
That's more than a third of the world.
There's like 10 billion people in the world.
That would make it
7 point.
That would make it a third, Jeffrey.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
But I still think
that's right.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's what I pulled up. I'll send you the article.
I'm still gonna take the over. Wait, that could be over the course of the entire Tour de France, which is 21 days.
Yeah, probably. That wasn't good.
Fine, whatever.
Whatever.
At least we worked it out.
All right, so let's do the NBA Finals last year.
Less.
I think I saw that it was less.
It was less.
Because the NBA sucks.
It averaged 10 to 12 million. The NBA didn't always suck. So actually, I was looking back through Wikipedia. When it was Steph versus LeBron in the finals, the numbers were literally almost double. Yeah. It was on average 20 million, and the one of them with the game that had the game went to Game 7 was like 36 million.
I'm telling you.
So NBA were cashing checks like 10 years ago.
The product of the NBA has shifted to literally almost unwatchable. It is almost unwatchable.
Yeah. All right. Let's test you guys with another football game.
Okay.
Chargers versus the Raiders, Thursday Night Football, Week 15.
I think any of the primetime games are probably pulling more than
Wait, so that's on Amazon, too? This is a trick question. I'm gonna go
They're all
under.
trick questions.
I'm gonna go under.
I'm saying over.
Kevin's roasting you right now, Johnny.
Boom!
That was such a shit game, dude. Those teams were so bad.
You also have to think what's on Amazon Prime.
Neither had starting quarterbacks playing in that game.
Oh, I do remember that one. Yeah,
that only had 8 million people, which is like that had to be probably one of the lowest.
I wonder what the Bears Carolinas viewership was on the Thursday night football.
It was probably more, but that's just probably because that's got to be Chicago's such a big market, so you're gonna get like 6 million alone just from Chicago.
True. How many big?
And LA, it was LA versus the Raiders.
Yeah.
So and the Chargers have no fan base.
Yeah. Right now, we're going to eat crow in about 5 years.
Why do you say that?
Jim Harbaugh is going to bring that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, currently they have no fans.
All right, and then the other ones I pull, they're obvious. The Super Bowl.
Triple.
Yeah,
five times.
It's like 115 million.
The most watched event ever, except for the Tour de France.
Yeah.
3.5 billion.
And the other one was the Masters, which is basically like the equivalent, because that's coming up this weekend.
The Masters. What did it pull?
It's like average. It's like average right at that number, 14 million. But then the Sunday, it's like up.
I saw, and I can't fact check this, but I saw someone on Instagram said that the NCAA women's game was more than every Stanley Cup game combined last year.
I could see that.
Yeah, I don't know. That kind of sucks. I feel like I don't religiously watch much hockey, but
I mean, if the Hawks aren't doing well, it's fun when the Hawks are in it, but I'm not a big hockey fan anyway.
I think hockey's got a lot of potential. I think they could probably do more with it.
Well, so I was talking about this literally yesterday as far as the sports are concerned. Obviously, football is king, and I was actually specifically talking about Apple TV Plus's baseball product, right? So I feel like
I didn't pull any baseball ones. I pulled. I'm sorry, just to go back. I did pull hockey. Hockey is pathetic. It actually hurt my soul.
We were just talking about that. Yeah.
It's like, do you guys want to guess what hockey for Stanley Cup Finals?
I'm gonna guess 6.8.
It's less. It's like $1 million.
I wish. It's like the games are they average anywhere between 2.5 to 4 million.
Yeah.
Now when the Blackhawks were in it, it was double that. Don't get me wrong, but it's the last couple of years have been smaller fan bases, smaller.
Yeah,
markets.
I think I don't know. Hockey's a lot of fun to watch. I'm not a diehard.
Well, last year was Vegas, who was kind of a new team, and the Florida Panthers, who's who watches the Florida Panthers, you know.
All right.
Yeah, that hurt my soul looking at those numbers.
So really quick, I'm going to tell you some viewership numbers for average viewers for baseball. So 9 million in 2023, 6 million or
per game. Wait, what is this for? 9 million.
World Series.
Okay. All right.
I don't believe that.
11.7 million in 2022. 11.7 in 2021 and 9.785.
But still less than this women's basketball game. So you know what? I think we'll finish it on it'll be interesting to see. Is this going to be a boon for women's sports in general?
Yes.
Because I feel there were through watching Caitlin Clark, I know who Angel Reese is. I know who is Paige.
The cutie from LSU.
No, UConn.
Who's the LSU cutie who's guarding her?
Oh,
Angel
Van Leith or whatever. Yeah, the one who sucked.
Who's in the Dude, she's guarding literally
I
the
feel
best.
This might come down to be just almost an extreme outlier though. Just how when you had LeBron, it was kind of it's kind of like the solar eclipse. Everything lines up. You had LeBron prime Steph versus pretty prime LeBron in the finals, and you saw those numbers way up.
I think it's all about what the media is deciding to market, and the media has definitely decided that they want to try and market women's basketball. I'm seeing a lot more on ESPN. They're getting a lot more of their of the market share of the coverage, and I think it's because I think they're trying to buy into more of the women demographic and being involved in sports. And
but it's cool for men too.
And I think you've got to also appeal to men who already like sports, get them involved, and then I think it's more of a palatable, approachable access for women. I feel like the NFL used to try to do that. I feel like that's what the whole when they were so over the top with the breast cancer, which was great, but I feel like that's essentially they don't do that anymore. Remember when everything was pink in October? Yeah. The flags and the towels, and it was all confusing.
Yeah.
I feel like that was an attempt to try and make it a little bit more approachable for women.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you get advertised more for women's basketball or Blue Chew? On an average basis, though.
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew
for sure.
So
especially after I bought it.
To that point, though, I texted both of the parents of my goddaughters. I was like, make sure they are watching Caitlin Clark right
Yeah.
now because like it's very inspirational for women's sports.
Yeah.
All right, last thing I want to end. Not end. I wanted to because I'm curious about.
I want to end.
Yeah, viewership for the World Series. I'm just gonna leave you with this. So in 1978 was the most watched World Series of all time. It was
Really?
Yankees versus Dodgers.
It's because it's a dying sport.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you right now. You're not gonna believe it. I want you guys to guess the viewership, and before you guess it, I will tell you what the viewership was in 1990. 30 million.
I would say 50 million, probably.
What's your guess?
43.
44.3.
Oh, nice, Johnny.
Yeah, that's
Redemption.
that's a lot of people.
Especially
watching.
impressive
Yeah.
because there was only like 2 billion people in the world at that point.
Very
Yeah,
impressive.
but,
indeed.
what kind of numbers would the Tour de
2
France
billion.
pull in that year?
So, but just to segue a little bit, I want to talk about one of the most viewed athletes who's going to be playing this weekend, and that's Tiger Woods.
Sure.
There you go.
And there's this rumor going around about the man being off the
Off sacks.
off the Blue Chew.
Yeah.
He's taking a break from the Blue Chew for a weekend.
I feel
we
like-
should really get sponsored by Blue Chew.
I feel like it's ridiculous. I think it's a ridiculous
It's not even-
meme that's floating around.
I know, it's great though. I feel like everyone's taking it, running with it, and back in your guys' playing days, would you guys take a break from punching that bag, just for sporting events, or no?
No. Maybe that's why I never made it to the next level.
That's probably why, man.
All right.
Too
On that
committed.
note.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Get us to 100. Leave a comment. What do you think the Bears should do with the 9th pick? Jeff wants a wide receiver. Kevin wants us to trade up, and I want us to trade down. So, what do you guys think is the right answer? And please give us a like and subscribe. It really helps out the viewership. All right.
Get us to 100.
Get us to 100. Only 2 weeks to the draft.
To 100
All right.
and beyond.
All right, peace.
I missed.